Okay. Here we have a bunch of paper. We're going to make a really cute card, and we are going to, ooh, Janet says she loves her adhesive kit. Yay, Janet. Thank you so much for saying that. We're going to be using the Dahlia Days bundle. Oh, I don't have the dies over here. I mean, we don't need them because I already have the stuff cut out, but, and then you may be wondering, wow, Barb, what is that? This is a brand new set of dies. It's called the Fabulous Frames dies, and we are using the largest one on our card today. And now I typically don't use new items that you guys can't purchase. However, as a demonstrator, we get the chance to pre-order items out of the new catalog. And so if you are not a demonstrator but would like to become a demonstrator, you can sign up to be a demonstrator during this period, and you can add these brand new items to your starter kit. So that is why I do bring a few of these items in every once in a while during this pre-order period, just to let you girls who may be thinking about joining Stampin' Up! Know that, hey, you can join Stampin' Up! With me and you can add this amazing set of dies to your kit. Okay, so this is what this big die does. It cuts out this fun frame, which has a lot of detail in it. As you can sort of see, there's a lot of score lines. There's a whole bunch of little dotties here. And it also cuts out this centerpiece. Now, what's really cool about this is you could have your frame in one color, and then you could run it through again, and you could have your inside be another color. So that's really awesome. And then, of course, these other dies, I don't know anything about them yet because I haven't used them yet. This is the only one that I've used so far. So that's what I have cut so far, along with the large image from the Dahlia's, I think it's the Dahlia's dies. I don't know. They probably have a name. I don't have them sitting here, so I can't remember. But anyways, it's the Dahlia Days bundle, and these are the dies. So we have this large, fun, detailed piece. Then I am also, wait a minute. Where is my piece of Designer Series paper? I cut a piece of Designer Series paper, not this tiny one. Did I stick it? Did I stick it in here? I did it out of the Neutrals pack. Oh, I did. Here it is. Because all these packs of cardstock, or no, DSP, that are in like our collections are all $6.90. They're 40% off. So that is a really good deal. So I took the basic gray paper, and I decided to use this piece here. And so I cut this to 3.5 by 4.5 because this frame measures 3 3/4 by 5. Perfect size, by the way, Stampin' Up! Because that's a card layer that I usually use. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to kind of add these things together. So I'm going to add the die cut. So I'm going to flip over my frame. I'm going to bring in what do you call this thing? A silicone mat. And then I'm going to bring in some adhesive. So this is a little tiny glue bottle that you can get on Amazon, and it has this nice metal tip. It comes with this little pin that you can keep in there so it doesn't get clogged. So I am just going to run this. I gotta shake it down. And I just added, I guess I should talk about it. I added our multi-purpose liquid glue to this bottle. I did not have any problems filling it up. I just unscrewed the lid and just squirted the glue right in there. I filled it up about 2/3 of the way to start with. And then it gives a really nice skinny bead of glue. I'm always afraid when I'm squishing glue, I don't want to squeeze it too hard that it comes out in a big blob, but I think I might need to push my pin back in there again. All right. So we're going to squeeze out some glue here. It's got a pretty nice little skinny bead. And I do have these linked below if you're interested in them. Okay, so I've got a skinny bead of glue all the way around. And so I'm going to take my die cut and I'm going to kind of hover it over the top so I can see where it's going to end up going, because I kind of want it to cover the whole frame as much as I can anyway. Okay, and now I'm going to flip this over. I know, Dana, isn't that true? The paper, $6.90 for like 40 sheets? Yeah, 40 sheets. And all of our packages, the brights, the neutrals, the subtles, the regals, and both of the in color collections are on sale. Okay, so we've got that done. So then what I'm going to do is Now I have this piece of designer series paper that I'm going to cover over the top, and then I'm going to trim off the edges. So I'm going to take my glue again, and I am just going to get a very skinny bead of glue. And this is really a nice dispenser. I really like how this glue comes out. It's just a tiny little bit, but it's like the perfect amount. You don't need, you know, a whole bunch of glue most of the time. You just need a skinny little bead here. There we go. And then I'm going to cover this so that it just covers the opening. I'm going to lay that down so it covers the opening. There we go. And Sue says she loves those tiny glue bottles. I know, Sue. When I discovered them, I was like, oh my gosh, these are so amazing. So that's what we have now. So we have a fun detail behind the die cut, which just gives your card a little bit of interest. So now all I have to do is just take my snips, and I just go along here and just trim off all that excess. Works pretty good. Now, I do have an alternate plan here. If you don't have, you know, these kind of plain patterned papers, and you just kind of want to make your own design, I am going to quickly kind of show you what you can do. Let me get all these bits off here because that's going to bug me. You guys know. All right, let me put my pin back in my glue. Oh, you have to be able to see the hole. Okay, there you go. Oh, Nicole says she loves her adhesive kit too. Thanks, you guys, for saying that. I appreciate that. Whoops, I missed this. Okay, so if you don't have designer series paper, but you want to add some detail to, you know, the layer behind, what you can do is use one of our doilies or any of our decorative masks. So this is one of our vellum doilies. These are, let's see, where's my package of doilies? Here it is. These are on sale for $4. There are 24 of these in the package. And as you can see, I do have a mark on mine. This is like up, okay? And so what I like to do with my stencils or my decorative masks is I like to use something called Pixie Spray. This is a repositionable adhesive. It is also removable if you need to remove it. You can use hand sanitizer or soap and water. Honestly, I don't even really always clean them off just because I figure, what does it matter if I clean it off or not? I'm going to use it again, so it doesn't matter. But you can if you want. So I have sprayed the back of this doily with my Pixie Spray, and so I can then place it. As you can see, I already have some detail there. And so to add a little bit more detail, I am going to stick this down again. And now, mind you, these things stick, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times. Okay, so I'm going to just take some ink. I'm going to swirl my blending brush in there. And then I'm just going to add some ink. And you can see how nicely that Pixie Spray holds. So I don't have to do anything as far as worrying about it moving around on me or anything like that. It just stays really nicely. And so I do have this linked below. It is on Amazon. And if you do shop with any of my links below, I make a tiny commission, enough to buy like maybe a candy bar or something like that if I'm lucky. So there's no additional cost to you guys if you use any of those links down there. All right, so then you can like peel it back, see how you like it. If it's not good enough, you can stick it right back down and then go again. So if you didn't want to use the designer series paper, you could do something like this to create a pattern behind, and then you could stick that on there, and then you'd have a nice fun design there. So I just wanted to share that little trick with you in case you don't have the designer series paper, or in case you hadn't heard about using Pixie Spray with masks, because it's amazing. Okay. So now what I want to do is kind of build up my card a little bit. So I'm going to fold this is basic gray. So of course it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm folding it in half. And like I said, this frame turns out to be 3 3/4 by 5. So I cut my layer of smoky slate 1/8 of an inch larger. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And so I'm going to add these together. And so now I don't need to really care about, you know, how my glue is applied. So I can just go ahead and go crazy here. And so I'll have just a tiny bit showing, like 1/8 of an inch or so. So then I'm going to add this to the card front, and I'm going to use some dimensionals. And then we're going to do a little bit of decorating on here, which will be very fun. Oh, Cheryl, you're my best friend tonight. Cheryl said, everybody give me a thumbs up. And Kathleen says she just got those glue bottles. They are the best. They really are. And I like the fact that it comes with the pin. And not that you need, you know, to buy something with a pin. You probably all have pins lying around. But it just, I thought it was kind of cool. And I like the metal tip on it. That was kind of what really sold me on this particular bottle, was this little metal tip. I like that better than a plastic tip. Why? I don't know. I just do. Okay. So that's done. So now we need to add some fun. So I did do a card during our spring retreat, and I did use gray, basic gray, and Daffodil Delights. And I love gray and yellow together, I have discovered. I just find them to be a fantastic color combination. So we are going to do that. So I have already taken my Stamparatus, and I have placed my stamps onto this piece of paper. I inked them up. I die cut them out very carefully, so that now all I have to do is take what I call a blank, drop it in here. I got to find where it goes. All right, I think I had this figured out earlier today. Oh, right here. Drop it in there. So I need a couple flowers and some leaves. Okay. And I have found, if you guys have spots, a lot of our paper pumpkins come with spots. Otherwise, you can buy blank spots in the catalog and ink them up with any color you want. But spots are really handy for using your Stamparatus, because you can just ink up a very small spot without trying to get a large pad in there. So you just want to make sure that your die cuts are placed back into the spots. And then we're going to press down with our little tool. And I made this. Some of you guys might remember that Stampin' Up! Used to sell cookie press things. So this is the cookie press handle. And then there was like little silicone things that you'd stick on this base, and you could press designs into cookies. Well, I mean, I don't make cookies really anymore. You know, I don't know. But anyway, and so that's what I use. I just added some felt. If you don't have one of these, I think I might have a link below. If I don't, there's a link to my crafty favorites on my blog, and you'll find it. You can use air hockey pushers also. Okay, so I need my take your pick tool. Where? Here it is. Sometimes I find that I can't use your take your pick tool to get these things out of the spots. And we're going to do that again because I need another flower, and I have a leaf already. I have some leaves already cut out, but we'll go ahead and get another flower here. Your pins are stainless steel. Oh, that's interesting, Cheryl. Thank you for the tip. I have no idea if mine is or isn't, but I do use mine pretty frequently. So I don't know if that will be helpful or not. I hope so. All right. So I'm going to press that down, and it's nice that this felt will slide on here, which is pretty cool. All right, so there is our other flower. We can get that out. We can close up our Stamparatus, and I'm going to close up my little inks here and get them out of the way so that they don't make a mess on me at all. Okay, so I'm going to bring my card back in. So I have my two flowers, and then I do have, oh, I needed another leaf. Whoops, I thought I needed another leaf, but I was probably talking too much. That happens. Barb talking too much? Oh, that reminds me of a funny story. When I was in the 2nd grade, I won the Big Mouth Award. Yeah, I don't think that the teacher could get away with giving a child a Big Mouth Award these days, but I won the Big Mouth Award in 2nd grade because I couldn't be quiet. So there's a little bit of history about Barb. And I will never forget that. And I don't know if it like scarred me for life or what, but I do remember it. I lost my leaf. It got stuck on the back. Okay. So now I'm going to add my flowers. You guys are laughing. I know that's pretty dang funny, isn't it? And like I said, I think about it now, and I think about what would happen to a teacher if they actually gave a student a big mouth award. I don't think that would go over very well. But my mother probably thought, yeah, I'm sure she deserved that award. Because I was always getting told to stop talking. Barbara, 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 stop talking. Quit talking. Yeah, so that was pretty funny. Ruth said she called her daughter Motor Mouth, and the daughter hated it. I can believe it. As I've gotten older, though, I've embraced my chit-chattiness because, you know, it is what it is. So you exactly, and that says set me up for YouTubing. Because when you're live, you pretty much have to talk a lot, you know, because otherwise there's like dead space, and that would be kind of boring. Exactly, Deb. You could never get away with that these days, but I thought it was pretty dang funny. Okay. So I'm going to add, I've got some polished dots here. So in our class, we are, of course, using the Dahlia Days bundle, and then we're going to use the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper. We're also using the polished dots and the ephemera kit that goes with the artistic. No, yes, I think so. I think that's what it was. Sometimes I can't remember what I'm talking about. Anyways, these dots are part of our class. So for the leaves, I'm going to kind of, you know, do a little something to them just to kind of give them a little bit of a 3D effect. So I'm going to kind of pull up these two side leaves and maybe push down that other one. Sherry says she was the quiet one in school. I probably should have been, Sherry, and then I wouldn't have won the Big Mouth Award. Although I guess, you know, maybe I'm proud of it now. I don't know. Oh, I think about that every so often, and it just makes me laugh. Okay. Let's see. Bonnie says, I had a teacher that called me up to her desk, took out her scissors, and cut my bangs. She thought they were too long. Oh my gosh. Could you even imagine that happening now? Whoa. No. No, that would never have happened. Wow, Bonnie, that's crazy. That is crazy. Cynthia says she was not the quiet one in school. So we've got some troublemakers on here, and we've got some not troublemakers. I love you all equally. Okay, so I added my leaves. I just added a little bit of glue. I did try to fluff these up a little bit. They aren't quite as fluffy as I would have liked, but maybe I didn't do such a good job of the fluffing. I'm going to try to use my fingers to just kind of roll them a little bit so they're a little bit better. Oh, Sue says she's got a blizzard outside. The weather is crazy, you guys. Okay, we've got that. Now I have a... Well, let's see. This is going to go on the inside. Oh, here's my sentiment strip. So this is a 1/2 inch strip. Doesn't matter how long because we're going to end up cutting it. But I've got some basic gray here. And this says, actually, I don't know. I can't read upside down cursive. So we're going to find out what it says here in just a moment together. You made my day. That's nice. All right. I'll do that. Snip that off. Carla says she was told she was ornery. I know. Can you believe all the things that we... And of course, you know, back then it was just like, okay, you know, the teachers were in charge, and, you know, they were in charge, and we didn't argue with that. And it was what it was. Today, you know, yes, there's arguments. I'm going to kind of pull that up just a little bit so I can add my little sentiment piece, because I want to kind of tuck it under just a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. And then I already have some other little pieces cut. Now, some of these I'm going to use and some of them I'm not. I have these tiny little flowers. One of the dies in the set is these tiny little flowers. They are so cute. And I'm going to add a couple of them to the edge here of my sentiment. And I already put the polished dots in the centers of them. But I thought, oh goodness, come back here. I thought I needed a little bit of something down here. Oh, it keeps wanting to stick on me rather than my paper. Stop it. There. Okay. And then the last one, I wanted to add one right up here. So I'll just put a little blob of glue. I had a whole bunch of these things. Well, here's one. Oh, I found it. The one that I was looking for. So I'm going to press that on. I'm going to add another little polished dot to the middle. So here's the front of the card. The front of the card is done. So now I need to do the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and run some seal on this strip of Designer Series paper. And I'm going to leave, this is a 3/4 inch strip. So I'm going to just have it just be slightly above the base here, the bottom. Good Lord. And then we'll add this to the inside of the card. Someone says they have this die, but they haven't used it yet. You should use it because it's really a fun set. And there's like 2 flowers and 2 leaves, so you can cut out multiples at the same time, which is really nice. Now I also did, there's another little flower in this set, so I did cut that out. I'm going to add a little bit of glue, and I'm going to stick that right down here. I'm going to add a dot. So it's in the center, and I realize you don't always put embellishments in the center of the card, but these are so flat that it's not going to make any difference. Here's my ink over here, so we're going to ink this up. And there. So the front says, "You made my day. Thank you for your kindness." And then we have an envelope here. And what am I going to put on that? How about, oh, I know what we could do. I wonder if we could do this. Let's try this. I'm going to try leaving this flower in the Stamparatus. And so, okay, here's my envelope. I want my flower to be right here. So I'm just going to kind of cover this, but not, so you can see how there's some sticking out, because I want it to look like random. I like things to be a little bit random. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to see how this works. We're going to ink that up. What does case mean? Case means copy and share everything, Polly. So that just means someone's going to copy my card, and that's the most, it's the, what do you call that? The sincerest form of flattery. Yeah, so please go ahead and case my card. So there we go. That worked out pretty good. Wow, that really turned out nice. I am really happy with that. That was just a really pretty card. Yay. Okay.